Okay, guys, we'll get started now. Uh, Everybody all settled in, ready to go? Okay, all right. So I've been posting announcements on your Canvas page, and really for these kinds of online virtual classes, Canvas is the glue that holds us all together, right? As well as Zoom. Zoom is our real fundamental way of meeting together here. Um, the reason I'm hesitating here is because, back in the spring when we started with Zoom, there were quite a few security breaches, and now Zoom requires that the members who join the meeting must have a password to join. So as you go ahead and log in and join the meeting, I have to admit you one by one. So please bear with me if I seem to interrupt myself without any reason. Okay. The reason is I'm admitting the students as they enter the class. So we'll get started up here in just a second. Right now is the rush hour, and maybe I'll just go ahead and get started then. All right, so here we have our Canvas page, and so you've all looked at this already. I posted some of this starting on Sunday, did some more yesterday, and we'll go over the syllabus here. Let me go to your announcements. And here's the announcement for the meeting today. And someone pointed out that I had said Tuesday was the 17th of August, and it's the 18th of August, so I corrected that part. Okay, so here's the agenda for this morning. I'm not sure how much statistics we're going to do today. It's going to be mostly meet and greet, get you familiar with the syllabus, and then answer any questions you have about the course based on those 2 pages of the syllabus. Okay, so that'll be the idea here today. Is really just to get familiar with each other, and more importantly, get familiar with the class. That you get comfortable with your Canvas, your Zoom, and of course your MyLab statistics. We'll talk all about that. Okay, so let me open the syllabus here. We can open it directly using this link here, or you can go to your syllabus in your Canvas menu here. So let's try it that way. Okay. So here's our syllabus, okay. Can everybody see this okay? It's fine. All right. So now, our class, excuse me, I'm admitting some more students here. Okay. All right, so our class here meets Tuesdays and Thursdays. The college has set aside a time for us, and in this time window, Tuesday, Thursday, from 10 in the morning to 11:25, that would be the class schedule if we were meeting in person. So I'll try and stick to this time window here for our meeting. If I have to deviate from that, I'll certainly send you a notice. I don't anticipate any deviations from this schedule here. And then the other part of this is that this 85-minute window is a nominal window that we can use for the meeting. I don't know if it's going to ever go that long. And certainly it probably won't go any longer. So I'll always keep you apprised of our schedule as we go from week to week. But as I said, this is the window that the university has set aside for us. You have my contact, oops. Sorry about that. You have my contact information here. This magic mouse sometimes does not behave magically, does it? It can be quite sensitive. All right, so you can contact me using text message or a phone call, and I'll try and reply to you. If I don't answer the phone, if I don't respond to the text right away, I'll try and get back to you as soon as I can. All right. You can also contact me through my non-college related email here. Actually, this is the one I use more than the sdccd.edu. This one is the repository for the emails that you send me in Canvas via Canvas inbox. So you can either, do this in Canvas, or you can use your email app on your phone or your computer to send me an email. And of course, this other one, att.net, is pretty foolproof because I'm checking my phone for the emails on the phone, and of course the text messages will appear on the phone as well. Now, I do have some time set aside after class, nominally on Tuesdays from 11:30 to 12:15 for office hours. So if for some reason you didn't make the 10 to 11:25 and you come in and you need to ask me questions, I'll be online as well during these times. Okay, and then on Thursday it's a little shorter, 11:30 to 12. Okay, all right. Hold on just a sec. Let me see. All right. Okay. All right. So it's very easy to contact me using the phone and the email. So you'll be able to get a hold of me pretty much 24/7. I don't guarantee that I'll respond to you immediately. Oops. But as some of you have seen that have contacted me on email, I'll get back to you pretty quickly. Now, let's go to the resources required for your class here. You're all logged into Canvas now after you've enrolled. Some of you have enrolled in the last day or two. A few of you have come on board just in the last day or two. And some of you are getting up to speed on Canvas and Zoom. So by next week, I think we'll have everybody in the fold, and they'll be fairly smooth. Now, if you're not familiar with Canvas, truly familiar, you can go to these videos and walk through the videos, and you'll see that Canvas is very accessible, fairly easy to use. Okay. Now, if we go back up here to this syllabus page, you can see that there is a video posted here for you to become more familiar with Canvas, okay? And then down below the syllabus, if we go down here, you'll see the current course summary. So it's useful to look at this page and just remind yourself of what's upcoming in terms of assignments. Okay, so that's Canvas, very useful. That'll be our primary method of running the class. And you'll find that that's very, very key. And some of you have already taken a number of classes at a community college that have used Canvas. So some of you are fairly familiar and comfortable with Canvas. In the old days, we used to use Blackboard. Remember that one? Okay. Now, the text here is a bundled package that you'll purchase. It's sold at the bookstore. Now, one part of that is, well, the bookstore is closed, I think. I don't think they're allowing students to go into the store, are they? Has anybody tried to go in there? So I presume that what you'll have to do is query or send an email to the bookstore and find out how you can purchase this package. Hold on just a sec here. Okay, so the other way to do that would be to go to Pearson.com. Okay, and Pearson, I'll show you the textbook in a second. Pearson is the publisher, and they will probably allow you to purchase that access code through their website, and you won't have to go to the bookstore via email. Okay, all right, now in this MyLab Statistics package, you also have the portal for your homework. So this is the online computer-aided homework. Some of you may have already taken math classes where you had WebAssign, where you had MyMathLab, one of those. Some of you have used those computer-aided homework portals already. So this is Pearson's version of the homework, and we'll go through that. I'll show you the website that you'll access to do your homework after you've purchased your MyLab Statistics and so on. Okay. Now, in that package, not only do you get the e-text and the homework portal, but you'll also get a very nice statistics package called StatCrunch. And I'll demonstrate StatCrunch throughout the semester as we do the worksheets. The worksheets are the other side of your assignments that typically will focus on those in class, okay? One other detail about your homework portal, the homework you'll see when you access your portal is due at the end of the semester. Now, that's a two-edged sword, isn't it? There's no pressure on you to make the homework, do the homework by the due date, okay, if the due date is fairly short, all right? So you'll have the end of the semester. I've done this in all of my classes, and most of the students are diligent and keep up with it. However, there were some students who waited until the last week or two, and they've run into trouble because it's a lot of work to do in a week or two before the semester ends to go ahead and try to get their full 100 points for the grade. So there's less pressure at the beginning, but if you don't do it on a timely basis, then the pressure can be a little bit onerous, and it may cause you problems. And 100 points is 25% of your grade, so it's not something to be taken lightly. But we do that so that students don't always have that daily or weekly pressure to come up with an assignment. The only pressure you'll have would be the worksheet. Those are fairly short. Those are quite doable within a week. Those each count 10 points. And we'll have more than 10 during the semester. So I'll take the highest 10. So there's a little bit of leeway there. It's really designed to get you more familiar with StatCrunch as I'm doing the worksheets in class in Zoom. Okay. Okay. And StatCrunch has a lot of features. It does all the statistical calculations and in a spreadsheet form. And we might have time to look at it today, I'm not sure. Now, most of you haven't seen it yet. Most of you haven't purchased your MyLab statistics yet, so maybe I'll wait a little later and we'll get into that in more detail. You should also have a calculator close at hand, right? Okay, sometimes you don't want to access your StatCrunch on the phone or the tablet or the notebook computer, and you might have to do a calculation. And you can pull out the calculator, and that works fine as well. So it's very useful to have your calculator in the back pocket as a backup, right? Okay. Any questions about any of these items here? Pretty clear on what's going on there? Okay.
I do have one question, actually. So
Yeah.
for the office hours, is that going to be held in this Zoom meeting also? Like, is it going to be the same Zoom link?
It'll be the same Zoom link, but what's probably going to happen in most cases is I'll leave the meeting. I'll end the class meeting between 10 and 11:25. The reason is that Zoom is creating a record. It's creating a recording. And, an 85-minute recording is a huge file. So probably what I'll do is I'll stop it at the end of our class Zoom meeting and then refire it up at 11:30 for the office hour. So that when you leave, when I end the meeting, all of you will, of course, leave the meeting as well. And then 5, 10, 15 minutes later, you can rejoin. I'll still be there again, and I'll answer your questions. All right. And then I don't think I'm going to post the recording of the office hour, although Zoom will have that recording, of course. It depends. So what I would like to do is record, and that is post some portion of the recording of the class. So I can go into an editor and trim the session to what I feel is the most important part, and then post that for you on Canvas. It's unlikely that all of you will attend all the meetings because you have commitments. You may have to prioritize your time at times, and it's nice to have that recording on Canvas that you can go back and look at it when it's more convenient for you. Okay, other questions about the front piece here? Okay. And again, some of you are very familiar with this drill, right? You've had other classes, other math classes, and most of us at the college are using these various resources. Now here's the grade breakdown. I've already mentioned the grades already here. There will be a midterm, and I'll give you certainly advance notice of that. Hold on, I've got some more admits here. Okay. So I'll give you an advance notice. Now, if you look down here on the syllabus, you'll see what we would call a projected course outline. I don't have any dates here. I've got a rough estimate of the time that we'll need to cover various chapters from our textbook. Now, some of you haven't seen the textbook yet, and when you open up your e-text, you'll see all of this content here. And so I've divided our semester basically into more or less 5-week periods here. And you see the midterm exam over here and the final exam, okay? And the final exam will come during the last week of our course, which basically I think is December the 7th. Now, the college has said that the final day of our class is the 14th, which is a Monday if you look on the calendar, right? So that's the official duration of this class. And so, for example, in your MyLab homework, I'm giving you until December the 14th to finish and turn in all your homework, okay? And so that is our end date. And I'll give you the final. Typically, the way I ran this online course over the summer that I just taught is I posted the exam to Canvas, and then students downloaded it and turned it into me as you would think of a take-home exam. Okay, so it's like a take-home exam. You're going to download it, complete it, upload it to Canvas, and then I'll grade it from Canvas, okay? And so I'll probably give you an ample amount of time, at least 24 hours, if not longer, okay? So you'll have plenty of time to do that drill of downloading it, completing your exam, uploading it, and then I'll have it. I will not accept late work. I'll come to that in the syllabus here in a second. Okay, so here you see the grade table. Each of the exams is worth 100 points. Maybe I will zoom in. Okay, so here's our grade table. And as I mentioned, your MyLab statistics, sorry about that, this mouse is very sensitive. Okay, so you'll see that the homework on MyLab is worth 100 points. And then these 10 worksheets that I'll take your 10 best worksheets, and maybe we'll have time to go through the first worksheet. I've already posted it. We haven't gone over the content yet to do the worksheet, but I might be able to show it to you today. And then it's the usual grade breakdown that all of your classes use. That is 90% and above is an A, 80% and above is a B, and so on. All right. Okay, and now here is some boilerplate information that you'll find on a typical syllabus from the college. Participation is important, and so you'll be able to go ahead and join the Zoom meetings. You'll have office hours. I can go over questions that you might have at office hours. You will email me. So I'll have a pretty good idea of who's participating and who isn't. Okay, that's fairly obvious. And so I may do a probe and find out why you're not participating, but those are in the extreme cases. I don't plan to bother anybody who doesn't attend an office hour or a meeting. You're all adults, and so we'll treat each other as such. Okay, plagiarism and honesty. You know, again, these are notions here that we have all inculcated in ourselves. You know, Zoom and Canvas are not foolproof, okay? And so it's really up to the individual student. So it's the honor code. So I'm hoping that you will all abide by the honor code. Somebody that treats the course dishonestly, who are they harming? They're not harming me. They're not harming the college. They're harming themselves. Okay, so I'm sure that all of you understand that notion. There might be a conflict from time to time about a final grade. There is a prescribed protocol for dealing with a conflict resolution. And so just read the details here and make sure that you understand that. And you know, if there is a conflict, it can be resolved amicably and fairly. So you have that, you have that. DSPS is another service that the college has prioritized. So if you have an accommodation, please let me know, and I will accommodate you as required in your statement, in your DSPS statement. Okay. All right. Now let's look at what the catalog tells you about this course. And here are some terms that you're not familiar with yet, right? Okay. So what we're going to do here, what we'll do here is give you the background and the foundation so that these terms make sense to you. Okay, what is descriptive statistics? You don't know that yet. What is inferential statistics? These are terms that you'll become familiar with. And at the end of the course, we can go back and look at this and say, yes, we did all of those things in class, as you can tell from the syllabus, okay? And again, student learning outcomes, this is what our target is. It's 16 weeks off in the future. So that's a lot of time for us to go through all of these outcomes here. So we'll touch base with all of these different learning outcomes as we go through the 16 weeks. And then furthermore, these objectives can be listed here, and you'll see that we'll check off these as we go through the semester, okay? Okay, and then here's the outline again. This outline is taken directly from our textbook. The textbook is appropriately called Elementary Statistics, okay? And so you'll see this list of topics right out of the textbook. And again, your MyLab statistics homework will come right out of the textbook. So your textbook is your fallback position. It has all of the theory and practice that we'll go through, not in as much detail as the textbook does, but it's always nice to have a compilation of all of the methods and procedures. There are some additional chapters in the text that you'll see. We won't cover those in this course because it's not part of our curriculum here. This is our curriculum here, okay? All right, any other questions about the syllabus here? Okay, you've taken a look at this already, and I don't think there were any surprises here. I did make a comment about late work here, and I didn't really talk about that. Or maybe I did. Okay, so Canvas will give you a deadline. If you try and submit your work after the deadline passes, it won't allow you to do that. There have been some situations where students had emergencies. They may have had an illness, and they can show us the doctor's form that, of course, validates that absence. Most of you will adhere to the deadlines, but if there is a situation, an emergency, an illness, I will work with you to make up the work. But you know, I'm going to say that it's going to be one of those extreme situations. If not, then I can't accept the late work. Okay. All right. Do you have any questions about the syllabus at all? Are we good with that? Okay. All right. Nothing too surprising in here. Right. And really, the key is this. Okay, your resources here. These are the items that are going to serve you well as we go through this class. Okay, so those are the most important bullets that you'll see on the syllabus. Okay, so let's go back to our agenda here. Okay. Here's another piece of the syllabus that I did talk about. Let me give you some more details here before we get into the agenda again. So as you saw in the syllabus, this is a requirement to complete the course. That is the purchase of your MyLab statistics from the bookstore. I believe the cost, as described in the enrollment portal that you signed up for the course, there is a description of the textbooks and other requirements for the course, and you saw this requirement. When I looked at it, I did notice that it had two options, the MyLab statistics option and then the textbook. However, that option really is a non-option, isn't it? Because number one, the cost is twice as much for the hard copy of the textbook as it is for the e-text, including MyLab statistics homework, StatCrunch, and all of the other good features of MyLab statistics, including instructional videos, examples of data sets, and so on. So really, the no-brainer is to buy MyLab statistics. And when you purchase your MyLab statistics from Pearson or from the bookstore, you will get an access code that will allow you to provide your username and password credentials, but you'll also need the course code, which is this. Okay, so some of you may have already done this. Has anybody done this? Has somebody already purchased MyLab statistics? I know this is the first day of class, so it's a little early, but there are always the early birds out there that have purchased this. And if you did it, if you purchased this and you got your MyLab statistics up and running, this is the code that you used. Now, I only posted this yesterday, so most of you have not done this step yet. So again, the comments were that, my earlier comments were that you must have this. All of the homework won't be due until the end of the semester. Furthermore, if you don't purchase it by September the 1st, I will drop you because it's it's one of the big keys of this course, and you won't be able to complete the course without MyLab Statistics. So if it's not purchased by September 1st, I will recognize that as a non-participation, and I will drop you from the class. The cost of this, I think, is fairly reasonable. When I looked at the description of the course that when you enrolled, it said it was $55.56 compared to the hard copy of the textbook only, which is about twice that amount. So really, it's a bargain, and you need this to complete your class. So I don't think I need to preach to the choir anymore. You all see the importance of that one. Okay, so let's go now to the agenda here. Okay, all right, and it looks like we've covered all of this except for the final bullet, right? And how are we doing on time? We're doing pretty good on time. Okay, now the last bullet here is your first assignment. So let's go over to the assignments on the menu list here. We'll open that. Okay. And here you see the list of assignments, some of which are hot in the sense that there's a due date given, and others I haven't set the due date yet. Okay, that gives you sort of a heads up of what's coming down the pike. But initially, you do see that you have an assignment here that's due tomorrow by midnight. Okay, so let's take a look at that one. I almost wanted you to do this by today, but I think that's jumping the gun a little bit. So you'll have until tomorrow evening to finish this up. Okay, so statistics in a very big picture sense is about data, typically numerical data, and data appears in all facets, in all disciplines: psychology, economics, mathematics. Yes, mathematics uses statistics, biology, business, meteorology, seismology. Now, why do I mention seismology? Well, did anybody feel the earthquake yesterday? Okay, there was a 5-point-something earthquake that emanated, I believe, from northern Mexico, northern Baja. And we felt it here. And so what seismologists have done is activated sensors either below the surface or above the surface of the earth. And so they're measuring the movement of the tectonic plates, aren't they? Okay. So what I'd like you to do is to think about data. And I mentioned a few fields for which data is collected. And some of you have not thought about this problem before. Well, and so in this discussion, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and propose a data set. And there aren't any, I'm not looking for any special effects or any theses on data. All I want you to do is think about it. And here's an example that I've listed here. I'm a baseball fan. I'm a homer. I like the Pods. And any of you who follow the Pods, you know that we had some problems last year, some systemic problems. OBA, does anybody know what that is? I didn't define it here. It's on base average, OBA. I almost didn't remember it myself. On base average. Notice that I didn't put batting average here because now the on base average seems to be what general managers are looking for when they recruit players and and sign up different players. And our on-base average was not very good last year. And in particular, one reason was that too many batters swung at bad pitches and struck out. So the idea is how do we profile the players that have a high OBA, and what are their characteristics, and how can we inculcate that and teach that to the new players coming up, not the ones that are already on the team. They've already developed their bad habits, and it's hard to change those with those high profile players. But with the young guys coming up, maybe there's something that we can tell them that helps them get on base more frequently. So that's one data set that would be interesting to analyze to see how we can improve the Padres, maybe 3-5 years down the road, not today. What we've got is what we're going to go with today. Okay, so here are some things that I'm looking for when you use a paragraph or two, no more than a couple of paragraphs. Why does the data set interest you? Is it related to your work, a prior job, a work, or a career that you're looking forward to? Okay. So just anything that interests you personally, or you may be disinterested in the data, but you find it interesting in maybe another aspect. Okay. I used an oxymoron there, disinterested but interested. Okay. So find the happy medium, and something that you may be very interested in to something that you may have no interest in at all, but for this exercise, it may fit the bill, okay? And the other part of this is, what is the problem of interest? Are you trying to improve a manufacturing process? Are you trying to build possibly a scheme to improve your investments by looking at stock market data? So it could be anything. It could be performance related. How well do athletes do when there is altitude? Maybe the marathon runners that train at altitude have a better performance. So there's a reason why you're interested in this data. You're trying to understand something about the processes that give rise to the data. So anyway, a couple of paragraphs, nothing more than that, just to get you thinking about what data is. All right, and then when you open up your textbook, when you look at your textbook,